Hey, what's up? I saw some confusion about what Project Everlook actually is. Just to make it clear for new people, pretty much Project Everlook uses the VMangus core. It's open source, and this core is basically trying to emulate the original World of Warcraft when it released back in 2004. And I say it tries because it's of course not a complete copy of Vanilla WoW. It's based on the 1.12.1 game client. That's a very old client now. A lot of the information inside this VMangus core are already pretty spot on or come close to. There are still some issues, of course. Sometimes you get bugs. That's why Project Everlook is at the moment in open PTR. The release will be on the 11th of November this year though. So if you're interested in playing, open PTR is there. I will tell you guys later what you need to do, and I have other videos about that as well. Another cool thing is, since this VMangus core is open source, everybody can use it and everybody can contribute. At the moment, Wall, that's the lead developer, is bug fixing, changing values, making sure it is as close as possible to the light soap values, the original vanilla difficulty. Since the community is involved as well, there is a bug tracker site, and if you provide proof, Wall can give this actually to the VMangus core, and since there's proof, it will be fixed for everybody to use. So that's pretty cool. Before, there were always some issues that the private servers would keep their changes for themselves and stuff like this, but Wall and this project in general will make sure that everybody can use that, so that is a pretty huge thing in my opinion. This is basically a progressive server. What that means is it progresses through the patches. That means it will go through all the patches till 1.12, but it also will have progressive itemization. In Classic, you already had certain things that were already fixed, so in the later stages, so it wouldn't make sense to go after other items. Here, it makes sense to actually farm those other items, so it has also a longer lifespan and more things for you to do. This server will also be a PvP server. There will be just one server, and this server will always be a vanilla server, no TBC or something like this. This is a true vanilla server, or at least, like I said before, it tries to be as faithful as possible to vanilla and light soap. I find it really amazing that this 1.12.1 client is still usable with Windows 10. You need to do some tweaking, but I find it really astonishing, and it runs good for such an old client. I find that really amazing. I obviously have no really programming background or something like this. It's just from a casual point of view, I find that really amazing. If you try to get older games running, I think you know that there are sometimes really issues, especially if you're using Windows 10. And this is still usable, mostly without huge hacks or something like this, and I find that really cool. But back to more information about the server. So it's vanilla, or it tries to emulate vanilla as close as possible, especially the light soap values. Light soap Northdale was another private server project where White Kidney, the lead of this project, was also involved, and of course others in the staff as well. And this was, from what I heard, I didn't get the chance to play there, but this was a really solid private server with no shady things going on, basically. A little bit more into detail, Project Everlook has 1x rates. This means 1x is bliss-like. That means there's no higher rate, this is exactly bliss-like. The honor system will be available from launch. Warsong Gulch and Arati Basin will be available 1 month later to incentivize world PvP, but also not overly encourage griefing. Battle Masters will be available a month after or 2 months after the server launch. This still can change a little bit the timeline, but the basic info, the gist, that will stay. Alterac Valley will be available in patch 1.5 when also the original AV was released back then. Ranking gear will be obtainable based on lifetime highest rank. There's, like I mentioned before, progressive itemization. This will change throughout the patch cycles. For an instance, Savage Gladiator Chain from patch 1.2 compared to Savage Gladiator Chain 1.10 is differently. So this includes also the PvP items. In the later patches they are much stronger and different. I have seen most likely strange stat allocations on the equipment, so you will have this to a certain degree. There will be no geolock on this server. This means if you're from China or somewhere else, you can play here. Spells, talents will be on 1.12.1, so that's pretty much where the biggest changes also occurred to the talent trees. They were much different before, so this is pretty solid, I think. And also you see they are trying to be as vanilla as possible, but they will have some tweaks, you know, not game breaking like, oh, it's completely another game, but I think you get the point. Yeah, World Boss, Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, Spirit of the Zandala, Warchief's Blessing will all be available. The ones that can be dispelled will also be dispellable. There will be no cooldowns on the World Buff NPCs. So with certain stuff there was a cooldown, but now you don't have a cooldown. It's a bit of quality of life, at least how I understand it. The debuff slots will also be progressive. Until patch 1.7, there will be a maximum of 8 debuff slots. I know that is for some a little bit jarring, but this is how it is on this server. This will not be changed. After 1.7, there will be a maximum of 16 debuff slots. It is what it is. And in general, the content is tuned to Northdale, Light Soul difficulty, like I mentioned before. Same with the dungeon gimmicks. They will be based on Light Soul as well. There's an example, combat log in UBRS rent event. So this can happen. There will be no sharding, no layering. There will be dynamic respawns though on the most populated zones. Also a big thing, boosting and selling services. The advertisement of these services is completely forbidden. Selling, tanking, healing services is allowed on the other hand though. Also, if you want to boost a friend of yours, this isn't forbidden obviously. But if you make money out of it, gold in this regard, RMT is also forbidden on the server. This is selling services, you know, completely forbidden. Bots will also be banned. Of course, this can take some time, and you need to make sure to report those bots. If nobody reports them, then they might slip through the cracks. They will ban them. That's a huge plus in my opinion. This is also why private servers are still a thing. They will ban GDKP, gold selling and gold buying, all banned. You are not allowed to. This is completely forbidden. If you get caught, you will get banned permanently. No shits given. If you pull this off here, you will be off the chart. And I really like this. This is why private servers are still relevant till this day. Blizzard can't get this right. If they would get this right, also to be more faithful to the original, I'm talking of course about World of Warcraft Vanilla, this would be a different beast. And well, you guys know the work culture and how they behave towards the community. I find this just disgusting. They obviously changed some things, that's good, but it's not good enough. There needs a lot more to be done there. Anyway, let's not get into this too deep. The server timeline will be about 2 years, starting in patch 1.2 and then moving all the way to 1.12.1, progressing from patch to patch approximately every 2 months. Not set in stone, but that is the general gist. There are also some gimmicks that are really important. Lupus will be doing shadow damage from the start, but the respawn timer will be different and spawn location will also be randomized. Black Lotus will not be soul-bound, so you can trade that. Norgenfogger will not have a cooldown, that's pretty cool. Post 1.9 elixir of poison resistance, so we will have that already. Alterac Valley will be on the 1.12.1 map. Black Lotus can spawn as well as other herbs and mining node landmines. Item proc rates from light soap values. Negative resistances and spell vulnerability will work until their respective patch. Old mounts will be available on the first patch of this server. So this is pretty much the gist of it. There is of course more. Certain jumps in Warsong Gorge were fixed, by the way. I am too much of a noob to tell you which one specifically. I think there was the fence jumping was fixed. Don't quote me on this though, but there is work done, of course. In the Discord channel, you can see what wall already changed. The channel is called Dev Updates. You can see what he fixed and what he could give to the Remangus core to be fixed there. So can see he gives credit. Really amazing, good job. If you are interested and you want to help out until the launch, or you just want to set up your UI, you can do this here, of course, for the launch. OpenPTR is there. I will leave a link in the description and in the info box how you actually can play. But I also will go now over this, how you can play. But this is a shorter form. Let's get right into that, I would say. You basically need a clear or a clean 1.12.1 World of Warcraft client. It can't be Classic WoW, this is a different version. It can't be Turtle WoW or something like this. Turtle WoW has custom stuff, and basically if you are playing on the custom vanilla server, you need another client. This won't work, you will have troubles and you won't get it to work. I would love to give you information where you could get the client, but for obvious reasons I can't. This is illegal, but I believe in your intelligence, so that's that. And then you would need to change the realm list in your World of Warcraft folder. I will have a pop-up on screen. It's basically set realm list log on .everlook.org. You need to make an account on the Everlook website. Don't worry, links will all be in the description. And you need to make sure that you verify your account with a valid email address. If for some reason you won't get an verification email, make sure you look in your spam folder. But for some reason you won't get it, log back into the website and there should be a prompt, a button where you can actually change your email, and you could try another email with that. But it needs to be verified. You can also set up two-factor authentication, and you can actually geolog your or geoblock your account. So if for some reason the information gets stolen, they can't log into your account, so it's safer. Of course, you know, it is always possible, but it's much safer. I would recommend you setting this up. And no, there is no incentive besides being safer, so you won't get more back slots or something like this, like on Classic WoW. This is just for your safety. I think this is incentive enough. Also wouldn't be a vanilla-like, or in the spirit of vanilla. Yeah, and you basically can boost your character there. This is for testing purposes. Yeah, and you can test if you want to. Testers are always welcome, of course. You won't keep your characters though. This has to be said. You won't keep your characters because of obvious reasons. It's just for testing. Everything will get wiped. You can play or copy your UI file to the next character, or create, when you use something like PF UI, a profile, and save this. So yeah, basically for those purposes, for making your UI how you want it for the launch, and if you want to help test bugs and quests and stuff like this. Yeah, would be cool if you would give us a visit there. I'm not part of the developer team. I'm just doing videos, but I really want this to be as good as it can be. There are a lot of nice people there, and I think they deserve a good vanilla server. That's pretty much it. More information, of course, are in the Discord, in the forum, and on the website. The Discord and the forum would be the best options for more information, in my opinion, especially the Discord, because this was the main platform so far. Yeah, other than that, if you have questions, I will try to help you out. Others can also help. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you disliked it. And having said that, have a nice day, guys, and stay safe out there. Bye bye. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day, guys. Stay safe out there. Vincent out. Bye bye.